Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. It's the last of the summer of Blake 7. Thank you so much for sticking with me these last few weeks and getting us through the summer all the way to September and new Doctor Who. Just in time. We've enjoyed this. 1970 odd Blake 7 coming at you. We've made it through 13 episodes. Imagine watching this over 13 weeks, not just one summer. That's a quarter of a year in the presence of Blake and his mates. But all good things must come to an end, and this is it. I might return next year with another summer of Blake 7. I just don't know. If you've enjoyed this, please tell me. If you haven't, please tell me. And if you want to enter the competition, there's still time. I'll keep it open until the end of September to give you a chance to win Blake 7 Series 1 on DVD. All you have to do to win that isn't answer a question. Oh no, it's tell me why you want it. And the funniest and best one will be sent it in the post. So get your act together and email me with your thoughts and I'll sort it out. You've got until September the 31st when I'll draw the name from the winning entries. I might even do a special podcast on that. But until then, we must discuss ORAC. Yes, last time we dealt with what ORAC was. Now, ORAC is often seen in this storyline as somebody off camera, as a bit of a build-up, bit of a surprise. Of course, Blake's decided after rescuing everyone and the sun dying to still deliver the batteries to try and save Enso. Yes, there's a bit of previously on just in order to bring everyone up to date because, it's not like everyone's doing some sort of box set watching. Oh no. And we head on our way to the planet of Enso, which is basically just a beach. It's an ocean world with dodgy, wibbly monsters that you don't really get to see very much of. Thank God. The BBC should have learnt this a long time ago. It's don't show, just tell when it comes to creatures. But of course I'm getting ahead of myself as always. Everyone on board the Liberator is poorly. They've all got radiation poisoning from the last story, which is nice, actually bothering to remember what happened last time, thus, in many people's eyes, turning this into part 2 of a 2-part story. That, and many of the other plot points, just follow straight on. It just happens straight after it. There's no big gap that you could fill with the Blake 7 miniseries, for example. Well, there probably is. Blake 7 can fit stories in practically anywhere. Weirdly, Blake gets to do a recap. I don't know what's going on there. It's as if Zen films their adventures and plays it back, or, using some gift of time travel, has bought the DVD. Perhaps he's won the one I'm giving away and gets to play clips back to them. And then everyone chats about ORAC. So yeah, I know 5 minutes of this story is spent on a recap, and the fact that you've probably watched this on DVD, or you've watched it on old VHS, or even on YouTube, then that kind of distracts from the way that you may have missed the previous episode because things weren't on again. People couldn't tape things at home then. People couldn't do any of that sort of thing. So recaps were very, very popular. And that's fine. You just have to let it go. So while everyone's on the way to the planet Aristo, an old man is on the planet Aristo. This is Enso, and he's feeding his fish tank. Or his fish. Next to his fish tank is another fish tank. This other fish tank has a very posh voice and is not even remotely the voice that we've come to associate with ORAC. I don't know why there's an upgrade. Perhaps in the middle of the night there is an upgrade that happens over the internet and nobody's got any chance and everyone just clicks through accept without realising that things will change and all of the icons will be different and your blue, lovely blue screen on, oh, let it go. I've had too many Android updates and I really don't like them. Thank you, Sony. You really didn't need to do that. My phone was working perfectly well before you did an upgrade. Enzo's still not dead, although his heart is failing. He needs his new batteries quite badly. Everyone's on their way. Hopefully somebody's going to have more anti-radiation drugs. The existence of anti-radiation drugs is brilliant, but I'm not sure it really exists. But it's sci-fi. We have to just let that go, don't we? So Servalan and Travis are on their way to Aristo as well. Ooh, could Servalan meet Blake? Could it be exciting? Probably not. Probably not. Basically, it's get to the old man and give him his stuff. Or get to the old man, wait for him to die, and take his stuff. There's your two plots. Whoever gets the stuff gets to win the big game of rebellion. We've discussed how ORAC works, using basically a combination of the internet and Google and Wi-Fi, making machines talk to each other, interrogating them, and bringing back answers. The fact that he's got artificial intelligence as well means he can type in his own Google searches. That's ORAC. He lives in a box, he has no way of moving around by himself, so that's a bit sad. He's one of those nice PCs that you used to get at the end of the 90s that had a big Perspex box that people used to make themselves, thus revealing the inside of Christmas tree lights and the like. See Galaxy Quest for more information. So when Blake and Callie end up on the planet, they run straight into a force field, and it all looks a bit, well, you know, time bandits. But Travis and Servalan are deep underground. Now, yeah, let's talk about the space lizard in the room. I did say so often that with some monsters, less is more, and with some monsters, less is more. Perhaps this is one of those moments. The fact that Servalan can be crawling through all of these caves and have to deal with the space lizard underground monster thing, the guard lizard, and still have the whitest of white clothes is very impressive. Now, after this chat between all the characters, Blake and Callie and Enzo have to get out, which is fair enough. And this man who's dying and is having a heart attack and needs his new heart batteries has to carry the rather heavy plastic crate that is ORAC all the way along the tunnels. It's just not good, it's not clever, and he's just found out his son's died, the only person he's been around for 40 odd years. It's not great. And yes, Villa gets one of the biggest laughs of the series by banging his head on a door frame after dragging himself to bed for just moaning and the like. It's fine. There's a lot of padding goes on. Of course Avon turns up to save the day and eventually ends up shooting Travis's hand. That would be the robot hand. Again. Yes, you can shoot Travis's hand as many times as you want, and it'll keep growing back. Hooray! That's where you aim for. Now obviously, Avon wasn't particularly well with the radiation poisoning because he was aiming for Travis's head, but that's fine. That's not a problem. But then, back on board ship, after the banter, you've got the great unveiling of ORAC, where ORAC sits there going, "Hello, I'm ORAC, I'm great, I'm a bit self-centered and conceited. Oh look, here's the future." Yes, he's Mystic Megalobox. And he shows them the Liberator exploding. Oh no! We're going to have to deal with that in Series 2. Excitement, adventure, plot building, it's going to happen. And you know what? There you go. That's it. Avon switches ORAC off. End of series. End of series. Cue the credits. Cue the title. That was Blake 7. Wasn't it fantastic? You know what it actually was? It was marvellous. It's been a lovely long journey and thank you very much for spending it with me. But that was ORAC, and let's count the crew. You've got Blake. He's off to one side. You've got Callie, you've got Jenna, you've got Avon, you've got Gan, you've got Villa, that's 5. Then you've got Zen, and you've got ORAC. There's 7. There's 8 of them. It's Blake's 7, because he's there, and there's 7 more of them. But if you only count the human beings, and you count Blake, it's still 6. So it depends on how racist you are, and whether you count computers or not. Computers are people too. Oh yeah. So with that, thank you very much for joining me. And let's go and watch some Doctor Who, shall we? Be seeing you. You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast, available on RSS, iTunes, Stitcher, Audio Boom and Tumblr. Doctor Who and its associated works are copyright of the BBC. No infringement is intended. You can contact the show donate, buy merchandise, or find out more about my other projects by visiting the Tin Dog Podcast homepage and clicking on the links. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance. On the 5th of September 2015, Hooverville will return. The biggest little Doctor Who convention in the whole of the UK is proud to present several fantastic guests. First off is the Colin Baker, a man who needs absolutely no introduction. Guests also include the author Jenny Colgan, responsible for Dark Horizons and Time Trips, Richard Marson, the man behind JNT, The Life and Scandalous Times, and the brand new book Drama and Delight, the biography of Verity Lambert, Dan Starkey, the man behind the mask when it comes to Commander Strax, and of course Ian the Elf in the Christmas special, Terence Dix, one of the men behind the Third Doctor and more Target novelisations than you can shake a stick at, the actor David Benson, from Robot of Sherwood, Iris Wildtime and the Scarifiers, Matthew Waterhouse, yes, Adric, Michael Pickwood, the current production manager on Doctor Who, and Karen Louise Hollis, author of The Man Behind the Master, the biography of Anthony Ainley. More guests may be added, but either way, that's a fantastic lineup. Visit the Derby Quad website on www.derbyquad.co.uk and follow the links. Saturday the 5th of September 2015. See you there.